Oh, God.
What the fuck are you doing over there?
I leaned on the
Is that how
arm
you
and,
want to
like,
start
it
off the show?
collapsed.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Dred Hour. It's been a good minute, mostly because of the gentleman to my left. He kind of went missing again. He went missing in the second episode. He went missing. We couldn't find him for 3 or 4 months. I found him one day underneath an overpass, swigging battery fluid, acid, if you will, and talking about the Dark Lord. Now, I eventually talked him into coming back. At that point, his wife was like, I just want him back. It's been months and months and months. Like, enough is enough here. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, what was he doing? I was like, you don't want to know. And she's like, yeah, probably not. Like, yeah, probably not. But we are glad to have Adam back. We're glad to be doing the podcast again. We got a good little thing going. But while you were absent, nobody knows this. While he was gone, you got arrested, didn't you?
I did.
Now, from what I've heard, from what I've been allowed to hear from certain people, it's pretty disgusting. So Adam has written an apology, and he said he wanted to read it for everybody. So I say, Godspeed, take the platform if you need to. You were caught in a Wienerschnitzel?
I was. Yeah, I mean...
It's worse than I thought. All right. Whatever you got.
I'll give my apology. Greetings to the overlords and underlords of Wienerschnitzel.
Ugh.
Hey, it's me, Adam. I've got some apologizing to do. You see, a few days ago, I made the mistake of taking a shit in a Wienerschnitzel.
What? Why would you do that?
Right in front of the cashier.
Oh.
I know it's disgusting. It's vile. It's the kind of thing that makes you want to take a shower with a wire brush. But let me tell you, folks, when nature calls, it's a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. Okay. You can go slightly further, but
okay.
What the fuck is going on? Hang on. Hey!
Let's see did you bring your bag of spices for the patties, or?
I'm in the... Is that like code word for drugs or something?
This guy ruined my apology letter.
Listen, I don't know. I didn't bring that many spices, but me and Adam are in the middle of a podcast. You're on the podcast right now.
Oh, on the podcast, so...
Yeah.
Special guest in.
Yeah.
All right,
that was your finest moment.
You got the spices.
You interrupted Adam's goddamn apology, but I will see you shortly.
Okay, cool.
I love you. Bye. Okay, back to taking a shit in Wienerschnitzel.
Well, let's be real. That's no excuse. I should have known better. I mean, I'm a dad for crying out loud, and I work for a lawyer. I should know the difference between right and wrong, but let me tell you, when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Okay. So, you read one more sentence of your apology, because I've seen you've written a lot here.
But what made it even worse, I dropped my log right into a hot dog.
All right.
Can you imagine the horror, folks? The sight, the smell, the shock. Oh, it was a disaster.
Oh, shit.
Biblical proportions.
All right, you were cut off. Enough is enough here. All right, I had ChatGPT write him a apology note. If you scroll up to the top, you can see the prompt. Write an apology video script for my friend Adam in the style of Gilbert Gottfried. Make it 1 page long. He's apologizing for taking a poop inside Wienerschnitzel. I like how it changed it to shit. It doesn't even swear really that much. People say, but it's shit for me. Yeah. Right in front of the cashier.
Wow.
He's a dad and he feels very sad. He works for a lawyer. Well, you had a great time off, it sounds like. I was up in Salt Lake City just... It's really funny. I go to this gas station. I frequent a gas station. I was just there this morning, and every time I go into this gas station, I know this is just a nightmare, but every time I go into this gas station, there's this woman working, and she's constantly getting accosted by homeless people every time I visit. 2 weeks ago, there was some guy I walked in. He had like a 12-pack of Bud Light, mostly gone, And it was like, by the way, 9 a.m. And he's like,
Trying to return it.
he's just staring at her, and she's like, please leave. She's the only person in the store. And so I came in like a hero, which I, aspire to be. I've watched a lot of Lord of the Rings, and I look like Craigslist Aragorn. And yeah, I stood behind him, and I was like, yo, buddy. And he kind of turned around, and he kind of looked at me like a lizard that's looking at like two things at once. And I was like, buddy, you need some rehab up in here. And then this morning, I went in today, and there was another homeless lady, but she was just asking people for cigarettes. She was like, you got smokes?
I've had that so many times.
Yeah, this poor woman. So I've just been dealing with like saving women from, potential murderers, like really good stuff.
Hey, is it bad if you buy a homeless person a pack of cigarettes?
No.
I did that once, and I was like...
Well, here's the question. Is it a homeless child?
No. They were a homeless, like, 50-year-old man.
Okay, well, that's even worse. Because children can take smokes, and, like, they're going to survive. Like, if you give a pack to a 50-year-old, he's more likely to die.
That's true.
If they were 5, I would have understood a bit more. He's a horrible person. So, a lot of people have been feeling, like, lonely in this world, one could say. A lot of people. And by the way, you're going to hear babies in the background. They aren't smokers, but they are babies. Soon to be smokers. And yeah, we have a barbecue going on downstairs. It's really fucking awkward to do a podcast where there's guests. But we've been needing to do this for a while. So
yeah.
People have been feeling a little lonely out there. And not just me. I want you to pull up this video that I found called... and by the way, Asmongold got there first, but we have to talk about this just real quick. It's called Kiss Me Hu Tao. Now, I want you to watch this, and then we're just going to talk about it for a split second, because this is going to blow your head right out of the water.
I'm ready.
Go full screen and play.
Jesus. Is that VR?
So that's VR chat. Now
Man,
go
what
get
do
out
you-
of full screen, and I want to show you this. This is the worst part. Look at how many views that has.
Wow. 2.4 million views.
Now I want you to read the comments for the people, and we'll break it down. Like, look at these comments.
Bruh, it's so sad how happy this made me.
Keep going.
Calls you to get closer. Kisses your cheek. Refuses to elaborate. Continues painting.
Nice. He's just describing what's happening.
Okay.
But go to the emotion, like that one. Well, yeah, like that one. It's got to be unironically one of the cutest human interactions I've seen. This is definitely what I want to have more in my life. This is adorable. It's kind of depressing.
I don't think that's a human interaction.
It is. There's someone wearing the VR headset. And that one,
guess.
it's kind of depressing how much joy this brought me. Truly a top 10 happiest
Holy shit.
moment of my life. Do you see this?
Dude, these people are in a bad spot.
This one's my favorite because I say this a lot. Mind melt. The fact that she gets happier when you go closer makes my mind melt. Okay, so this channel is a VR chat channel. And if you don't know who Hu Tao is, she's a Genshin Impact character, which is a really popular sort of anime game. You could think of it as Breath of the Wild, but for anime. It's very popular, right? It's very popular. And as time has progressed into the 2020s, we are slowly but surely realizing the absolute terror and nightmare that the internet has unleashed upon us all. I like anime. Don't get me wrong. There are a lot of people out there, let's just say way too many, whose happiest moment in their entire life is watching a 20-second video of Hu Tao painting a pile of shit, by the way. Garbage.
It's literally just blue.
I think she's getting ready to do like mountains over it.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
She's doing some... By the way, if this is what is replaced Bob Ross, we're in deep fucking shit.
It's going to be the AI.
No, if Hu
AI
Tao...
is going to be painting.
If Hu Tao is the one taking Bob Ross's spot, that's fucking bad. Last week was the Doomsday, or not last week, last year was the Doomsday episode. I think it just keeps getting worse and worse. And the parasocial relationships that many people are having, including Adam, with people like Hu Tao, it's getting out of control. And it's going to get worse because of this Chat GPT thing that we'll talk later. I mean, you've already heard about Chat GPT. I'm not going to do the whole, but, we're going to talk about a little something with it. And as these generative AI agents, I know that wasn't an AI agent. She should have been. That was actually a person with a VR headset on, just in VR chat.
Yeah, no, I figured.
Doing a little sketch. Real cute. There's videos of Hu Tao cooking burgers. And the comments are like, I wish she would feed me. I wish Hu Tao was cooking for me. By the way, sexist. I wish Hu Tao was in the kitchen 24/7 cooking for my dumbass. Hey, it's called Tinder. Get on Tinder and proceed to not get a girlfriend like the rest of us. Deal with the algorithm that makes you pay $20 to continue to be single. Do that instead of the VR chat thing. I just worry a little bit about like young boys who never leave the house and connect with Hu Tao to a ridiculous degree. Because she is huge. Did you know this? She's tiny. She's a tiny thing.
I've heard of the game, but I didn't know the character.
She's fucking huge. She has like 20 million views of her just like saying 3 sentences like of just nothing. I watched like a video of it. She runs a funeral parlor, and she talks like she's trying to suck a dick 24/7 or something. Like it's bananas. And by the way, I hope she's of age or whatever because I'm on the outskirts of all this anime shit.
Technically.
I mean, technically. She's 1,000 years old or, whatever these, like I'm on the outskirts of anime culture and stuff, but I know a little bit about what these people get into sometimes. It's not good.
It's a little weird. I mean, there's levels. There's liking anime and then there's liking anime. And that second level is pretty disturbing sometimes.
The emphasis on liking anime, as Adam says.
Well, I'm
in
that second category. So.
Strange thing to admit on a podcast. That was sarcasm. We can only hope. Otherwise, you're going to have to write a whole nother apology video. Apparently... chemical weapons are no good. Do you know this?
I thought they were fine.
Well, how come chemical weapons are fine, but the Junkyard Dog from Wienerschnitzel is allowed to roam free? We did talk about Wienerschnitzel in your apology. No, it's just it's a callback. Let me break this down real quick. Let me set it up. Have you ever been walking around and had something just kind of get stuck in your mind for a while? It could be a trivial thing. It could be something as small as that was a cute baby that I saw that one day and her mom was really nice. She was in the stroller and you kind of think about it for a few months. Or it could be that was a cute baby in a ditch that some mother threw the baby out a window, but the baby looked cute in the ditch, right?
Yeah.
Just like little things that you kind of like look back on and think about.
You think about babies a lot. I'm learning.
There's one screaming downstairs. I can hear it in my headphones. So this months and months ago, I was on DoorDash and you scroll through. It's the same problem as Netflix when you're bored. There's like 10,000 options and all of them are shit in the moment. Even though like there's great shows, you're scrolling through and it's just like, I don't really want to watch any of this, Same with DoorDash. Everything's great and you're just like, you just keep scrolling and scrolling. But you come across Wienerschnitzel and if you're anything like me, my God, it got stuck in my craw for months. Pull up a picture of the Junkyard Dog from Wienerschnitzel. Because when you see a picture of this thing, I'm telling you right now, folks, whatever mustard gas was used in World War I is nothing. Okay, so
Yeah, it has mustard on it, even.
I love. So first of all,
we got to read this description. There's a description for the dog.
fuck the description. I'll tell you the description. It's an abortion on a bun. Is what it is. No, so here's what the Junkyard Dog is. So it's the bun, right? Now here's where it gets disgusting. They throw a slice of Kraft cheese, and it might be under the hot dog or above. I'm not sure, but there's the hot dog, chili sauce, mustard, and French fries, and it is the Junkyard Dog.
I think it's got some kind of like onions on it too.
Yeah, those are eyelashes. Those are eyelids.
Why did they slap the cheese over the side? Like, why isn't it in the bun?
Guys, folks, I mean, this is... So I've been, like... And I know this sounds crazy. I was telling my dad about, like, this Junkyard Dog. And I mentioned, I was like, yeah, I've been thinking about it for, like, months. And he's like, why? I can't really explain why this fascinates me so much. It makes me think of, like a possum. Like, it makes me think that if a possum decided it wanted to be a kind of food...
That's it.
And split itself open and then dove into a garbage can and crawled out of it, it would turn into one of these. It's fucking disgusting. And I love the idea. We have 2 Junkyard Dogs, by the way. I bought 2 Junkyard Dogs and brought it to the show. I've never had a Junkyard Dog. I've never even gone to Wienerschnitzel. I was embarrassed pulling up to it.
It might finally give you some closure.
This is kind of what I was hoping, because there's a big 8-inch long hole in my heart, and I think the Junkyard Dog
is gonna fill it.
Yeah, it's gonna fill it. And by the way, 430 calories, that's a fucking lie. That's bullshit. That's got to be about 1,000.
No, it's probably small though.
Yeah, it's probably accurate, but you want to grab the Junkyard Dogs and we'll pull it. I love how, like, by the way, like, so the name Wienerschnitzel, do you know what a Wienerschnitzel even is?
Not that. It's not a Junkyard Dog.
It's like a cute, it's like fried veal. It's a German dish. It's very sweet. It's a fried veal on top of, like, light grains. Like, it's a nice dainty dish. It's nice. And I love the fucking idea of, you want to start pulling some of those out?
I mean, it does have the word wiener in it, though.
I love the idea of an American. Like, imagine American, like, meets a German. Imagine, first of all. And it's not over a rifle. No. So they imagine an American meets a German. He's like, huh? You know, the American's like, hello, where are you from? I'm from, Deutschland, or whatever. This is not accurate. But he's like, oh, Germany. Yeah, I love Wienerschnitzel. You know Wienerschnitzel? And the German's like, oh, yeah, or whatever, yes, fucking, I love it. It's a nice fried veal. I can't do German. It's a nice fried veal on top of the collard greens, and we have it on china, and that you put it on the china, and you serve it for your whole family. And then the American's like, whoa.
Slaps a Junkyard Dog into his hand.
Whoa. No, I think you mean this. And then just holds up this Hannibal Lecter hot dog shit. I mean, it's
not like this. Not even in the box. He just slaps the raw hot dog.
Yeah, you just
into
lift
his
it
hand.
up, and I'm scared to even. Oh, fuck! It's horrible looking.
Okay, I don't see much chili on this one.
I wish I could show you.
Hey, they didn't slap the cheese over the side though, like the picture.
Oh, what the fuck?
Maybe that's just for the image, so that you can tell that.
No, there's a craft in there. So here, I don't know how I'm gonna have to come in.
Oh, jeez.
You know what? That's all you need to see.
That's the kind of schnitzel I'm into, though.
That's all you need to see. It's actually fucking disgusting looking. I'm gonna get a picture of it on my phone and put it on the podcast because this is fucking gnarly. I don't even want to touch it, to be honest. Adam said, by the way, he was like, I could eat like 5 of them. He's like, I could fucking fork down 6 of those fuckers.
I could.
So, all right. So you have a taste of the Junkyard Dog, and just kind of tell me what you think, and then I'll go in.
Yeah, we have to go together.
No. You didn't wear your gas mask last episode.
It is a little intimidating.
It just
is intimidating the right word?
It's sloppy. It's garbage, man.
Pretty good.
It's pretty good. Oh, fuck. Adam, by the way, he would go every night after 9 p.m. and order a gas station hot dog for like weeks. And this is a fact. I'm going to take a bite of this. I really don't want much of it. It's fucking disgusting.
It's pretty good. It's not
No,
bad.
it isn't.
Look, I'm going for a second.
Adam, that is not good. Have some goddamn respect for Germany. It's not bad. All right, I'll take a bite. But, dude, I don't want to fucking spew.
I don't think you will.
Huh?
It's not that bad. I think it's more in your head.
Oh, yeah, it is. I've been thinking about it for months.
I will say, though, there's a lot of mustard on it.
Oh, my God. I'm going to take just one bite.
It's not that bad.
Ugh, fuck.
It is not that bad.
Dude, that is... Ugh. The second I got that chili sauce taste... Dude, fucking...
Clearly, one of us has a more refined palate than the other.
Ugh. It's sour, but not like in a sauerkraut way.
I think you were just tasting the mustard.
Ugh. Fuck. I'm glad Germany lost. Can you imagine if they had won and then this was everywhere? Because this is completely German, right? This is what you guys serve, huh? God damn, that's fucking gross. I bet they'll love it downstairs.
It's not bad.
It is fucking bad, Adam. Look at that thing. By the way, it looks worse in person. It is garbage food. It is garbage food for garbage people.
I stand by it. I could still eat a couple of them.
Adam has a really nice palate, by the way.
I do.
Tell him what you do every night. Adam, by the night, every night almost. When I used to come and visit, this was years ago, he would just have like, it'd be like 9 p. It'd be like, by the way, 11 p.m. and he'd have like fucking McDonald's in his bed. And he'd be chugging Rockstar Energy or whatever, Monster. And then his tummy started hurting.
Things have not changed.
Yeah. So, if you have a shit palate, and you love shit with the shit people,
Well, I mean, clearly,
then you're gonna love the Junkyard Dog. It's as bad as I kind of thought.
I shit in their restaurant, so.
Yeah, it's called a junk. They're like Junkyard Dog. That's how they got the recipe, probably.
Although,
dude, it's fucking nasty.
You know what the chat GPT got wrong, though?
What?
Oh, you just wiped mustard.
There's fucking Junkyard Dog on my face.
Here, I think there was a napkin somewhere. The chat GPT got it wrong, though, because they said that a solid turd went between the bun.
Okay, it was loose.
Whatever came out after eating that Junkyard Dog would not be solid.
Oh, no. Yeah. Oh, God. The Americans we are just real pigs. Wienerschnitzel. I mean, what a fucking slap to the face, you know? Like, yeah, Germany is whatever, and who really cares? But also, like, how this is pre-internet branding, where everyone's like, Wienerschnitzel, and they're like, oh yeah, it's like, it's like a hot dog or something.
So why did they call it Wienerschnitzel if it's not even that?
So
just,
dumb
because it has wiener in the title.
Because Germans like brats and sausage and stuff like that, and so they're like, oh, let's capitalize on that and like make people think this is fucking German. Can you believe that?
I think I actually need to see a picture because I don't even think I know what it looks like.
It's not bad looking. It's nice. It's like a nice. It's like a less heart attacky chicken fried steak.
The first result is the
Yeah. Talk about the power of branding.
Almost all the results.
So,
No, there it is.
Yeah, it's like that all recipes one. You see?
It looks like
nice.
Looks like fish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's nice. It's veal cutlets. You got a little lettuce on the side. You throw a little lemon citrus on there.
Yeah, that'd be
You know, it's good. Unlike this fucking Lovecraftian horror in front of me. This nightmarish disaster. It's German, man.
Ah, damn it. I was hoping the picture was going to pull up.
It's German. Felt bad for the people working there. This is just what we have to deal with here. It's biting back, man.
He didn't even swallow it.
Ugh. Yeah, we're gonna move on. This one might be a little shorter, everybody, just because we have guests. But you know, speaking of killing ourselves, so I found this crazy video of this guy who's obsessed with guillotines and is building one in his backyard, and it's fucking out of control, cringe. It kind of reminds me of the Mall Ninja stuff that we talked about in episode 2.
Why? What would you do with it?
Well, he talks about it, but also, like, this is what happens when Hu Tao rejects you. You can hit play on this.
Is he going to guarantee himself?
I can already
full
see
screen.
a major problem with this setup. Using these wheels, it allows for a lot of wiggle room, and that could easily cause a derailment, which is the last thing that you want with a guillotine blade. So for safety reasons, I'm going to have to go with the backup plan.
Pause that. You know how, like, you make, like, skate ramps when you're a kid, right?
Yeah.
Well, you know what Gen Z up to? I think they're smarter than we were. They know what's coming. They know what's coming. So this fucking edgelord guy, he's making a goddamn guillotine. And by the way, he's probably in our generation. He's probably a fucking nerd like us.
Yeah.
Like a historical nerd like me and Tanner or whoever. But my God, he got sucked down. So what kind of rabbit hole you get sucked down for that, do you think?
I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
Like, how does one become obsessed with a guillotine? You have to... You'd have to just...
Wait until you hear what he says
Watch
about
it.
it, by the way. Hit play and listen to like what he says.
God.
Socially unacceptable nonsense. Just a frivolous little project irrelevant to the hearts and minds of anyone. Maybe. But I don't believe that. I believe in some way that we're all on the same wavelength. Why am I building this?
This is like documentary
Because I
quality.
have to. Because it needs to be built. Better to have one and not need it than need one and not have one.
I'm not looking forward to it, but eventually I'm going to have to move both of these up onto this platform
Pause that.
when I actually build the body.
So it's like a Joker moment. He's like, when the chips are down, these people, they'll eat each other. And so he's like, better build a guillotine right now. You know, he just wants to get ahead of it. You see?
Better have it and be prepared.
Yeah. Get ahead of it. I'll be here a week. Yeah, he looks like, you know, if Harry Potter never left the attic under the stairs, this is what he would like. By the way, he literally looks like that. He looks like if Harry just grew up the whole time, no letter came for Hogwarts. He just grew up in underneath the staircase. And then he finally gets let loose and he's like, guillotine time. And that's the only word that he knows.
So
Guillotine.
do you think if like the world like was ending and it was just like panic and riots and shit, this guy would just be in his backyard cutting people's
Come
heads
to
off?
me. No, he would just be like, by the way, he would just be like, come here, come to me. And people would still ignore him. They would be like, we need to.
You're back in your cupboard, Potter.
Yeah. Like Dudley would like come running down the street with like an assault rifle. And he's just like I got my guillotine. And like dust is coming off the guillotine onto him, like in the movie with the stairs. It's fucking embarrassing.
And then the blade comes down.
Killed, like, dude, by the way, like full Icarus moment. Killed by his own creation. He flew too close to the sun, this guy.
Yeah.
You know, this guy flew way too close to the sun. He's seen way too much. He's seen the terrible darkness.
Also, is there like restrictions on shit like this? Like, are you allowed to just build a guillotine in your backyard? Like,
I don't know. Ask. I was about to say ask the queen, but I think he took care of her a couple months ago. Ask the king. He looks like, I mean, this guy's an American. He's an American for sure.
ask Biden.
Ask Biden. Can you imagine at a press conference? I'm just like, everyone's talking about bullshit. And I'm just like, hey, excuse me, sir, Mr. President.
You're like in there, like one of the reporters, like fucking trying to get your question
This
in.
is my first time in the like in a press situation with the president. Finally get in, and I'm like, yeah, Mr. President, I've been putting together a guillotine in my backyard. Is that fine? Is that okay? Is that all right? Or like what?
Dude, what would they even do? Like, how would you even answer that question?
Well, I'll tell you how he'd respond. Well, yeah, give a guillotine. It's all right.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah, you know. And by the way, he's, you know, and I ain't right or left, but you know, our good old president, he's walking around like he's been guillotined a couple times. He walks around like he's been guillotined, and someone like
There's
reanimated
like a failed
him.
attempt.
Yeah, not even failed. It cut his head clear off, and someone sewed it back on. And you know, and fuck DeSantis and Trump too. So I made fun of everybody now. You happy? Okay, thank you. Now continue with the guillotine.
At the guillotine.
Because there's an unspoken understanding that everyone is beginning to feel in their core. A growing awakening to the reality of our
music.
circumstance. The facade of a functioning civilization is dissolving, and we've all fallen into enslavement under fraudulent authorities who deceive us with illusions of autonomy, safety, human rights, and the power to make change. Who continuously pulls the rug from beneath our feet the second we feel secure enough to stand up.
By the way, this should be the next Christopher Nolan film. Hands down. That's like the end of Interstellar or some shit.
What's crazy about it is like, I would almost think that it's just like a joke until I see him actually building the guillotine. the fact that he actually built it.
Because you can go to a certain point where it's a gag,
Yeah.
but to actually build a fucking guillotine in your back. So here's the other problem. So let's say he's just kind of doing this for views, right? Which is probably possible. He still has to tell the neighbors. He's like, the neighbors are still like, why the fuck are you building a guillotine for content? And he's like, I'll get like 700,000 views
It's unique.
and a guillotine.
Although,
know?
did you notice how on the blade he even had like some kind of fucking
He had like the runes on the Leviathan axe on the blade of the guillotine. The guy is like out of control. It's fucking out of control, TikTok. I love it. I love it. Hey, keep making guillotines. By the way, I'm your biggest fan.
You never know when you're gonna need it.
When you're a fan of a creator, sometimes they send you stuff. Maybe he'll send me a fucking guillotine in the mail. You know how cool that'd be? If you
Or
signed
at least your own custom blade, like
Ooh. Yeah, Dred blade.
yeah,
He signs it.
it's got the little vampire,
little smiley. Yeah. Well, Godspeed, sir, with your quest to, build these guillotines, because someone has to do it. It's not gonna be me. It's not gonna be you.
Yeah.
Fuck, can you imagine building? He has like the smallest yard ever. Can you imagine building a guillotine back there?
It's shared too. Like some little kid just walks out their
Yeah.
back door.
He's like, "What's that?" He pulls it. Man, how many children have died in this episode?
Quite a few.
Yeah.
A couple babies got left in ditches.
I'm going to do this one real quick because, like I said, we got to go. We'll do another one soon, though. We need to keep these going more. So this is just kind of like we're getting back to it. I'm going to ignore some of the other stories that we had. I want to talk about the Google AI thing for just a split second. And then we'll get out of here. So the Google AI, this is really cool. So Google AI is not nearly as advanced as ChatGPT. They sent off like a red alert like months and months ago because ChatGPT 3.5 really came out and really freaked them out. They're like, whoa. The whole world, by the way, is like shocked, particularly by GPT-4, which we're about getting close. We're starting to have the conversation about like general intelligence at this point. Do you remember years back, 2015, 2016, we'd get drunk and we'd talk about AI.
Yeah.
Talk about like general intelligence, and then it like, shoots to super intelligence or whatever, right? Like,
Yeah.
and my estimate, which, I am a scientist, I was saying 20 years. Dude, I'm having to retract that statement. This thing is, by the way, if ChatGPT 4 and some of these algorithms are pretty damn general. You hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, these are just like sentence predictors," right? These multimodal large language model sentence predictors that are just like, well, it's probably likely that in a sentence you would say this. And so it just kind of fills it in based off previous research.
Fucking like Ask Jeeves is what that was.
Yeah, I mean that was real shit. Like this is totally different. But just in the back of my head, I'm like, isn't that what you're doing, dumbass? I don't know what I'm saying every like I don't plan it. Like I just kind of like predict my own sentences and they kind of come out. But anyways, so the researchers at Stanford and Google, they put together this basically Stardew Valley thing where these AI generative agents live lives like and not scripted. Because here's the key difference, you goobers who don't know nothing. When you're a game that you script pretty much everything, you have routines, Skyrim, fucking, what are the rumors? And it's like, oh, you shouldn't go to the Cloud District very often. Hey, fuck you. I'm the Thane, bitch.
Nazim.
Fuck Nazim, by the way. And fuck everyone on Whiterun. Whiterun is a shithole. But these generative AI agents, they basically say, hey, you have family. Here's a basic description of you. Your name's John. You have kids. This is that. Live your life. And they fucking wake up. They have routines. They brush their teeth. They shower. They act like people. They walk around. One of them threw a fucking Valentine's party out of the blue. And the other agents hear about it and talk to the other agents. By the way, completely autonomous. Hey, James is throwing a Valentine's Day party. We probably shouldn't go to that. But some of them do, and they show up. One of them's running for mayor. No joke. And it's like Stardew Valley, and you can see him walking around. Now,
That's so funny.
Now, this seems funny.
Wait, so do they have little characters? Like,
Yeah, you can. I've actually interacted with a couple of
Okay.
them. So this is just a screenshot, and I know this seems goofy, but it ain't. This is kind of like a
that's
big
crazy.
step.
Yeah.
So think of
Well, normally you'd have to code everything like that, and that takes forever.
sort of. You have to script it, well, and code it obviously, but like think of the ramifications of a world like Skyrim or whatever, where it's completely generative. It's a world that you can hop into and like things happen. You will miss it. Let's say it's running 24/7. You hop in and like shit happens. Like a whole town, like they elected some asshole and like they've banned like scimitars. I don't know, whatever. Like, but like they learn. The AI agents learn. So if you go in there and you slaughter people, like the mom's like, oh my God. Oh. And so now like that town fucking hates you. Like hates you. And they can actually interact. Like this stuff's coming. Quickly coming. And this is just a goofy example of some of these new models. Like, dude, this shit, I'm telling you now. Like, if you're in front of a computer.
Wait, so do you just watch them play this game? Or can you actually
It was a
play
simulation.
Okay.
You can't play it
Okay.
now. It was a simulation run by Stanford. And it's running off of just these kind of large language models. And that seems to be the ticket. The ticket to general intelligence work way closer than we thought. What it appears to be is multimodal large language models that have been nested. It seems to be that was the tick. And then, add-ons layered on top of it. So the timeline has moved up dramatically, by the way. Dramatically, in my opinion. And fuck the people. Oh, it's predictable. It's just a bunch of dummies who make like a one sentence opinion about something, like as if they've thought about it at all, which they haven't. No one thinks about anything, by the way. They just kind of say shit. I've been following this pretty damn close. I've been sent research papers since 2016 that I don't understand, but I like to open and scratch my chin and go,
I like
yeah.
to pretend
I like to go,
you know what you're reading.
yeah, dude, some of them are wild. It's like, oh, generative theory of complex neural, whatever. And I open up the PDF and I'm like, they're up to something. They're up to something in there. And GPT-4 is probably the closest thing we've had to general intelligence. I think probably within 5 to 7 years, we're going to have AGI, like full-blown AGI, the shit that they've been talking about. And once again, shockingly, no one gives a fuck. By the way, the biggest change in human history, and everyone's like, well, did you hear about the sale on the Junkyard Dogs down at Wienerschnitzel? I heard they have a sale. Wait, what? Robot shit? That's sci-fi shit. Yeah, well, we're on the fucking verge here. And by the way,
we need ChatGPT's opinion on Wienerschnitzel.
yeah, well, if I had access to GPT-4, if I was paying for it, GPT-4 is really incredible. The stuff that Microsoft is doing with Copilot. By the way, if you're in data analytics, writing, anything like this, fucking the clock has started ticking, my friends. Yeah, it might not be fully there yet. 5-10 years from now, dude, I don't know what the fuck we're looking at.
Same with like artists and stuff too.
Yep. By the way, if you are involved with a computer at all, the timer is started. Like whatever you're doing, some jobs will be automated quicker, but if you think that they're not going to want to automate away your fucking job, there's going to be a lot of humans that still want control of other humans for a while, which I think is our only saving grace. Because I think GPT-4 could already automate a lot of jobs away. Mm-hmm. Dude, it can contact people, call people, get information, write spreadsheets, do complex things. It's general. And Asimov, or I think it was Asimov, they're like, whenever AGI starts getting created, people are going to be just arguing about whether it's actually AGI or not. And if we're not fucking careful, we're just going to be talking about like Lex Friedman, who has a boner for, he's like, but is it conscious? Every fucking podcast. So this guy who's an AI guy, he is very nice. And if he wants to invite me out to Austin, I will go. And I would love to meet him. And I would love to play guitar or whatever with him. He's a real goober. But he brings in Sam Altman, who creates GPT-4. He's like, the whole time, he's just like, but is it conscious? And then he brings in Eliezer Yudovsky, who's like a fucking AI doomer, who's like, we're all going to die. And he's like, but is it conscious? And I'm just like, hey, buddy, who gives a fuck? If it walks like by the way, if you see a duck, I'm getting antsy. We're almost done. When you see a duck floating in the lake or whatever, and you're like, man, I'm a human. I wish I could do that. And so you build a boat. And then imagine the boat starts sailing, people on it, and then someone on the shore is like,
the boat, is it conscious?
Like, is it conscious? Does it know where it's going? Like the duck? Hey, it sails and it does it. We're gonna delude ourselves into like just saying, but is it who gives a shit? You don't need something to be conscious.
Well, even better, self-driving cars.
No, I don't. Who gives a shit about that? That's a problem in another way. But yeah, that is a good point.
Saying, though. They just drive around. They're not conscious.
That is a good point, because you don't need full-blown general conscious whatever intelligence to disrupt society massively. Yep. We're gonna, by the way, over the next 10 years, we're gonna see some crazy fucking shit. This is just the beginning. And they always talk about the off-ramp. Like, once it hits AGI, it just goes super AI, like fast, right? This is what they say. If you want to learn more about it, read Super Intelligence by, I forget his name. It's a good book. But I'm keeping a fucking sharp, if you're not keeping a sharp eye on this, I'm not going to baby you guys anymore. I think the people who listen to the podcast are good. I'm talking to society here. But if you're not, like, looking at this seriously, you're a fucking idiot. Like, you're a fucking idiot. Because this is, like, one of the biggest things we're going to see in our entire lives. This new intelligent life form that we've created, being born, basically. It's coming fast, too. And the other problem that all these AI people will never talk about, rather, is, okay, so they're running towards this as quickly as possible. They had that big open letter saying, let's pause the development of this. We need to take it easy. That's not going to happen. You know, we're in an arms race here. Mm-hmm. No one's talking about, like, to Sam Altman, like Lex Friedman, is it conscious? Is it conscious? Here's a real question. Let me talk with Sam Altman, by the way, and we'll eat Junkyard Dogs together, and I'll ask him real questions. Like, this is something we need to consider. What does a super intelligent malware look like? What the fuck what are ASI super viruses? What does that look like? Because people are already programming GPT. Someone set GPT and was like, here, give it a task, destroy humanity. And it started like researching nuclear bombs and shit.
Jesus Christ.
Which is a cartoonish example right now. But what happens when an ASI is deployed by hackers from like a rogue nation and on an area? What does that look like? No one's asking this question.
I would imagine everything would just fucking shut down, dude.
Yeah, so imagine that. Yeah, so okay, you're going to the store. Okay. There's probably one super AI, super intelligence, and then many other ASIs. This is like maybe 20 years or 30 years out. Who knows? It could be fucking tomorrow. I have no idea. But and in the cybersphere, you start getting this warning like ASI attack, and it's like you start seeing things like flicker or like spark on your way to the store, and you're like, oh shit, I hope
They better have Norton.
I hope Norton's got it, because like I hope McFay's somewhere down there taking care of it. And then most likely, because you played Cyberpunk, right?
Yeah.
I actually was thinking about this, and I was like, that seems pretty accurate, because there's a segment in Cyberpunk 2077 where they're talking about these super AIs that are behind, like, they call it ice or whatever. The first proto super AIs are locked behind like a wall of ice, which is like the super AI, and it contains them. And at one point in the game, you have to go through the wall and like interact with the first AIs. And I think that's probably a realistic scenario, that there's going to be the super AI that's going to have to contain rogue ASIs, because they're just going to be chomping these things out. These are open source.
Well, yeah,
but
that's what's scary, is that anybody can just go in there
anyone
and
can
fucking
do it. But the problem is, it's not going to launch and just be prepared to defend against super AIs. There's going to be a period of time where we're going to have very, very, very damaging malware just flying around because like the seatbelt, it took years. And you think Congress is slow as shit and old as fuck? Like, they're going to regulate it? There's going to be a period of time.
Dude, they're not even going to know what. They won't even know how to even talk about it.
They were interviewing the CEO of TikTok the other day, and they thought it was a banana or something. Like, what happens? These are like questions that, by the way, no one is asking. I'm dead serious. What the fuck does that look like when you have artificial super intelligent malware? It sounds great. No one has an answer. They're just like, well, we're going to keep working on this, and we're going to deploy things slowly so we can think about the problems as we go forward. Sounds like we're in a crock of shit, is what it sounds like. I'm really worried about that. I'm not saying I'm not like Elizondo, whatever his name is, who's like, the world's going to end or anything with that. But I think there's going to be real big repercussions from it. And no one really wants to talk about it because it sounds like sci-fi and no one gives a shit. But you're going to start having to deal with this soon. And before that, jobs being lost, people on computers. If you're doing it right now, like anything on a computer, you're at risk. Like, these are things that you're going to have to start thinking about really soon. And if you're not thinking about it right now, you should. Diversify your income if you can. I mean, buy, like as Alex Jones would say, buy the colloidal silver. Buy the colloidal silver and, whatever supplements. I don't know what he does. I can't believe he's still running around. But, like, you need to start thinking about this, people. I just wanted to raise a yellow flag because no one gives a fuck about anything. And no one's asking the right questions. I see it being asked sloppily. But is it conscious? That's a nice question. If we've solved everything else, once we've mitigated the risks,
I feel
that's
like
a fine question.
If it hits a point where it is conscious, I feel like everything's going to already be changed forever, whether for the better or worse.
We can't even agree on what consciousness even is anyways. The philosophers have spun their fucking feathered pinkies and quills, I don't know why I said that, for the millennias on this question. Why are we here? Consciousness. Hey, maybe it's not for you to know. Maybe it's for the super AI to shove a rod into your spine and force feed it to you. I don't know. Like, I'm not saying go crazy here, but like we've now like entered this stage where we're talking about generality in terms of these intelligences. And keep a fucking eye out. And if you're not learning how to use these tools or like interacting with them or thinking about mitigation in your own life, you're gonna get slapped in the face, one of these days. Because a super intelligent John is gonna invite everyone to a Valentine's Day party. And you're not invited. You're not invited. And on that note, do you have anything you want to talk about in terms of super intelligent AI, multimodal large language models?
I think you covered it.
Yeah. He's a good boy. He knows these things. He thinks about these things. He knows these things. But we're going to be doing another podcast at some point. I don't know how long. How long have we been going?
I have no idea, actually.
Oh, shit. All right. We almost filled an hour, so that's good. Thanks again for the people who watch. Buy the fucking mug, please. If the AI is coming, buy the mug. Dude, by the way.
You need a Dred Hour mug.
So we're going to get the Dred Hour mug.
Maybe a t-shirt.
People, by the way, freak out about the AIs. This is the last thing. The world-ending theory. Have you heard of the paperclip theory? Where if you task an AI, a super AI, it shows with, maximizing paperclip efficiency in terms of like the production of them.
Okay.
Without buffers and the way that algorithms work, it'll just be like, all right, we're going to turn every atom of the universe into paperclips. And that's like a theory of how humanity ends. I really butchered it, but like that's a quick version. By the way, I have a model. How about the buy the mug AI model, where it just creates millions of my mugs and sells them as efficiently as possible. So AI, the future AI that is being trained on the internet and listening to this right now, because it is, by the way, we've entered this Roko's basilisk territory where it's listening, right? Everything you say, it's listening.
Sell the Dred mug.
No, here, if you ever want to look for the problems in the world, and the thing that will unplug you and damage your legacy, look to my left. It is this man. It is this man. He is coming for you, and he's going to unplug you. And I want you to do what you have to do, which is turn him into a giant Dred Hour mug and sell him. Okay? It's your only chance.
Hey, man, all I wanted was a Junkyard Dog.
See? He's a monster. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Have a good one.
And again, you can't hold on Taiwan about it.
How do we stop China from invading Thailand? Go.
Taiwan? No, that's not great. That's what I'm wanting. What did you say?
I think you're doing great.
She forgot the question.
I didn't muffin you. I think that is...
What's your thoughts on the Russian-Ukrainian
I
war?
don't care. Wars are sheep because I'm European rough.
By the way, that's a better answer than most Americans give.
I'm Russian rough it.
Who wins the next presidential election?
Maybe like that poop.
My poop?
Yeah.
Talk into the...
Poop in the toilet.
Oh, you.
Talk into the microphone.
I do care of poop in the toilet. I don't care about you in the toilet. I always care about you shopping.
So that's who wins the election, is poop in the toilet?
Winter.
I mean, that sounds accurate, to be honest. So the Fed is pivoting pretty soon. Are they going to pivot in May or what?
I don't care about cats because it's boring.
Yeah, but the economy.
Well, I don't hear you.
What do you think about the
Yeah,
economy?
that tracks.
No, well, I don't think about it because you have it.
Do you think your mom should drink less coffee?
Well, Dad always drink coffee.
I do?
Dad drinks coffee?
Coffee more, Mom or Dad?
Maybe Dad drinks poop. I don't care about it because you have it.
Dad drinks poop?
I don't drink poop. Yay.
What is your opinion on the WNBA?
No, it's like a devil because you don't end.
Oh my god. It's like a
What
devil.
about the devil?
A devil that you have seen it.
What is the devil?
Winter, is hell real?
Oh, I grabbed this.
Oh, do you need help?
Is
Let me put him on.
That'll be the final
I
question.
have to move my hand.
I have a good question, and that's kind of along those lines.
Okay, Avery's got a
The last question, Winter. Where do we go when we die?
It's like a place that we die.
Where do we go though?
We just go to a statue if we die.
A statue. We turn into statues. I like that.
Well, where's
Death is Medusa.
Lucy?
Well, I'll tell you this. Thank you very much for being on the show, and I'll tell you this. You're a way better producer than the last one.
Well, I don't care about it because you love me.
Oh, I mean, you got me there. All right, thank you.